Hare Krishna, my friends, and welcome to Friday night in Bhaktiville. We've been reading in Srimad Bhagavatam Narada Muni's narration of his early life. What an inspiration. So last week we read about his travels through forests and rivers, seeing snakes and jackals, all while being only 5 years old. At one point, he sat down to meditate and Lord Krishna appeared to him, but then left. Let's find out what happens next. We're on Canto 1, Chapter 6, Text 19. You'll find that on page 328 of the PDF or page 295 of the book. But before we get started, let me offer my obeisances to Srila Prabhupada, who has brought this to us. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namane. I offer my respectful obeisances unto His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, who is very dear to Lord Krishna, having taken shelter at his lotus feet. And please accept my humble obeisances. Panchakalpa Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyo Vacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. I also offer my respectful obeisances unto the Vaishnava devotees of the Lord. They are just like desired trees and can fulfill the desires of everyone, and they are full of compassion for the fallen, conditioned soul. So let us sing those little verses that we sing before we read Srimad Bhagavatam. And they're up there on the screen? I think so. All right, here we go. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. O my Lord, the all-pervading personality of Godhead, I offer my respectful obeisances unto you. Oh, this is interesting. Okay. I'm just so that you know who are listening, we're testing out a new something in Zoom, and I have like 6 screens open, so those are extra noises you're hearing. All right, next one. Narayanam namaskritya naram chaiva narottamam devim sarasvatim vyasam tato jayam udirayet. Before reciting the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is the very means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisances unto the personality of Godhead Narayana, unto Narayana Rishi, the supermost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Srila Vyasadeva, the author. Shrinvatam Svakata Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtanaha Vidyantasto Yapadrani Vidhunoti Suhritsatam. Sri Krishna, the personality of Godhead, who is the Paramatma Supersoul in everyone's heart and the benefactor of the truthful devotee, cleanses desire for material enjoyment from the heart of the devotee who has developed the urge to hear his messages, which are in themselves virtuous when properly heard and chanted. Nashta prayeshva bhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavati uttama shloke bhaktir bhavati naistiki. By regular attendance in classes on the Bhagavatam, and by rendering service to the pure devotee, all that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed, and loving service under the personality of Godhead, who is praised with transcendental songs, is established as an irrevocable fact. All right, so Canto 1, Chapter 6, Text 19, that's 328 of the PDF or 295 of the book. All right, text 19. Call and response. Tidrikshustad aham bhuya. Tidrikshustad aham bhuya. Pranidhaya manohridi, pranidaya manohridi, vikshamano pinapashyam, vikshamano pinapashyam, avitripta ivaturaha, avitripta ivaturaha. Let me look at something. Yeah, okay. All right, the whole thing all at once. Didrikshustad aham bhuya pranidaya manohridi vikshamano pinapashyam avitripta ivaturaha. Kandita?
Didrikshustad aham bhuya pranidhaya manohridi vikshamano pinapashyam aviptripta evaturaha.
Great, thank you. All right, word for word. Didrikshuhu, desiring to see, tat, that, aham, I, bhuyaha, again, pranidhaya, having concentrated the mind, manaha, mind, hridhi, upon the heart, vikshamanaha, awaiting to see, api, in spite of, na, never, apashyam, saw him, avitriptaha, without being satisfied, eva, like, aturaha, aggrieved. I want to read the verse just before this, before I read this translation, because it will make more sense. So the verse just before this, a couple verses before this, Narada Muni says, as soon as I began to meditate with my mind, transformed in transcendental love upon the lotus feet of the personality of Godhead, tears rolled down my eyes, and without delay, the personality of Godhead Sri Krishna appeared on the lotus of my heart. All right, so let me read the translation for today. I desire to see again that transcendental form of the Lord, but despite my attempts to concentrate upon the heart with eagerness to renew the form, I could not see him anymore, and thus dissatisfied, I was very much aggrieved. So he appeared and then disappeared. Purport. There is no mechanical process to see the form of the Lord. It completely depends on the causeless mercy of the Lord. We cannot demand the Lord to be present before our vision, just as we cannot demand the sun to rise up whenever we like. The sun rises out of his own accord. So also, the Lord is pleased to be present out of his causeless mercy. One should simply await the opportune moment and go on discharging his prescribed duty in devotional service of the Lord. Narada Muni thought that the Lord could be seen again by the same mechanical process, which was successful in the first attempt, but in spite of his utmost endeavor, he could not make the second attempt successful again. The Lord is completely independent of all obligations. He can simply be bound up by the tie of unalloyed devotion. Nor is he visible or perceivable by our material senses. When he pleases, being satisfied with the sincere attempt of devotional service, depending completely on the mercy of the Lord, then he may be seen out of his own accord. Text 20. What a cool verse, Bhaktiville says. Yes, I agree. And the purport is very telling. No, it is upon his own mercy, not our endeavor. And the tie that he is bound by is that unalloyed devotion that the devotee has. So we can capture him by our devotional service, and then he becomes obliged. Anyway, text 20, call and response. evam yatantam vijane, evam yatantam vijane, mam ahago charo jiram, mam ahago charo giram, gambira shlakrishnaya vacha, gambira shlakrishnaya vacha, sorry, shucha prashamayanam, nope, prashamayan iva, shucha prashamayan iva. All right, let's do the whole verse together. Evam yatantam vijane mam aga ahago charo giram gambira slak krishnaya vacha shucha prashamayan iva.
Evam yantam vijane mam ahagocharagiram gambira shlakshnaya vacha shucha prasamayan eva.
Great, thank you. Word for word. Evam, thus. Yatantam, one who is engaged in attempting. Vijane, in that lonely place. Mam, unto me. Aham, said. Agocharaha, beyond the range of physical sound. Giram, utterances. Gambhira, grave. Sakrishnaya, pleasing to hear. Vacha, words. Shuchaha, grief. Prasha mayan, mitigating. Eva, like. Translation. So this is Narada Muni speaking. Seeing my attempts in that lonely place, the personality of Godhead, who is transcendental to all mundane description, spoke to me with gravity and pleasing words, just to mitigate my grief. Purport. In the Vedas, it is said that God is beyond the approach of mundane words and intelligence, and yet, by his causeless mercy, one can have suitable senses to hear him or to speak to him. This is the Lord's inconceivable energy. One can hear him upon whom his mercy is bestowed. The Lord was much pleased with Narada Muni, and therefore the necessary strength was invested in him so that he could hear the Lord. It is not, however, possible for others to perceive directly the touch of the Lord during the probation stage of regulative devotional service. It was a special gift for Narada. When he heard the pleasing words of the Lord, the feelings of separation were to some extent mitigated. A devotee in love with God feels always the pangs of separation and is therefore always enwrapped in transcendental ecstasy. Bhaktiville, could you forward the slide viewer to plate 20, please? So after bringing that up last week about plates, this one showed up in this next verse. Text 21. Call and response. Hantasmin janmani bhavan. Hantasmin janmani bhavan. Mamam drashtum iharhati. Mamam drashtum iharhati. Avipakva kashayanam. Avipakva kashayanam. Durdashoham kuyoginam. Durdarshoham kuyoginam. Right, and the whole verse all together. Hantam tasmin janmani bhavan. mamam drashtum iharhati avipakva pashyanam nope avipakva kashayanam durdarshoham kuyoginam.
Hantasmin janmani bhavan mamam dristum iharhati avipaktva kashayanam durdashoham kuyoginam.
Sorry, thank you. All right, so the text, I can't really see the text from where I'm sitting, but in the purport, Prabhupada says, I regret that during this lifetime, you will not be able to see me anymore. So that's the caption on the plate. Translation for this verse. Oh, wait, I didn't do the word for word. Hanta, O Narada, Asmin, this, Janmani, duration of life, Pavan, yourself, Ma, not mom, me, Drashtum, to see, Iha, here, Arhati, deserve, Avipakva, immature, Kashayanam, material dirt, Durdarshaha, difficult to be seen, Aham, I, Kuyoginam, incomplete in service. Translation. O Narada, the Lord spoke, I regret that during this lifetime you will not be able to see me anymore. Those who are incomplete in service and who are not completely free from all material taints can hardly see me. Purport. The personality of Godhead is described in Bhagavad Gita as the most pure, the supreme, and the absolute truth. And let me just read that verse quickly. That's from the chapter 10, the opulence of the absolute. So chapter 10, verses 12 and 13. Arjuna said, you are the supreme Brahman, the ultimate, the supreme abode and purifier, the absolute truth and the eternal divine person. You are the primal God, transcendental and original, and you are the unborn and all-pervading beauty. All the great sages such as Narada, Asita, Devala, and Vyasa proclaim this of you, and now you yourself are declaring it to me. So let's continue with the purport. There is no trace of a tinge of materiality in his person, and thus one who has the slightest tinge of material affection cannot approach him. Beginning of devotional service starts from the point when one is freed from at least two forms of material modes, namely the mode of passion and the mode of ignorance. The result is exhibited by the signs of being freed from kama, lust, and lobha, covetousness. That is to say, one must be freed from the desire for sense satisfaction and avarice for sense gratification. The balanced mode of nature is goodness, and to be completely freed from all material tinges is to become free from the modes of goodness also. To search the audience of God in a lonely forest is considered to be in the mode of goodness. One can go out into the forest to attain spiritual perfection, but that does not mean that one can see the Lord personally there. One must be completely freed from all material attachment and be situated on the plane of transcendence, which alone will help the devotee get in personal touch with the personality of Godhead. The best method is that one should live in a place where the transcendental form of the Lord is worshipped. The temple of the Lord is a transcendental place, whereas the forest is materially good habitation. A neophyte devotee is always recommended to worship the deity of the Lord, Arjuna, rather than go into the forest to search out the Lord. Devotional service begins from the process of archana, which is better than going out into the forest. In this present life, which is completely freed from all material hankerings, Sri Narada Muni does not go into the forest, although he can turn every place into Vaikuntha by his presence only. He travels from one planet to another to convert men, gods, kinnaras, gandharvas, rishis, munis, and all others to become devotees of the Lord. By his activities, he has engaged many devotees, like Prahlad Maharaj, Dhruva Maharaj, and many others, in the transcendental service of the Lord. A pure devotee of the Lord, therefore, follows in the footsteps of the great devotees, like Narada, Prahlad, and etc., and engages his whole time in glorifying the Lord by the process of kirtan. Such a preaching process is transcendental to all material qualities. Oh, what's Bhaktiville says, the caption on the plate is the same as what's in the verse. Thank you. All right. Any comments or questions about that one? It's another good one. All right. Text 22. Call and response. Sakridyad darshitam rupam. Sakridyad darshitam rupam. Etat kamaya tenagha. Etat kamaya tenagha. I just want to emphasize that it's that nagha is not nagha. The G has a little breath, so it's nagha. Okay, next line. Matkama shanakai sadhu. Matkama shanakai sadhu. Sarvan munchati hrichayan. Sarvan munchati hrichayan. All right, all together. Sakridyad darshitam rupam etat kamaya tenaka matkama shanakai sadhu sarvan munchati hrichayan.
Eight Sakridya Darshitam Rupam Etad Kama Yatena Aga Madkama Shanakai Sadhu Savan Munchati Hrichayan. Sorry if I didn't get that just right.
No, it's perfect. Thank you. All right, word for word. Sakrit, once only. Yat, that. Darshitam, shown. Rupam, form. Etat, this is. Kamaya, for hankerings. Te, your. Anka, O virtuous one. Mat, mine. Kamaha, desire. Shanakai, by increasing. Sadhu, devotee. Sarvan, all. Munchati, gives away. Hrichayan, material desires. Translation. O virtuous one, you have only once seen my person, and this is just to increase your desire for me, because the more you hanker for me, the more you will be freed from all material desires. Bhaktiville had a comment from the last verse. He says, it makes bhakti really difficult. What is it? What do you mean by that? It makes bhakti really difficult. Totally pure with no materialism. Well, that's the goal. That's the goal. Bhakti is the process. Just keep doing bhakti and those things will fall away. So then it's not difficult. That's the thing. It's not difficult. So don't say that. It's not difficult. The more we do it, the more things fall away. The more we become attached.
It'll automatically happen. It's not like it's a forced thing, Bhakti. It just, it just falls away, like Dusty's saying.
Yeah. Over time, those things just fall away. And here, this verse that we're reading, well, read Prabhupada's purport first, and then I'll say something about it. The more you hanker for me, the more you'll be freed from all material desires. Purport. A living being cannot be vacant of desires. He is not a dead stone. He must be working, thinking, feeling, and willing. But when he thinks, feels, and wills materially, he becomes entangled. And conversely, when he thinks, feels, and wills for the service of the Lord, he becomes gradually freed from all entanglement. The more a person is engaged in the transcendental loving service of the Lord, the more he acquires a hankering for it. That is the transcendental nature of godly service. Material service has satiation, whereas spiritual service of the Lord has neither satiation nor end. One can go on increasing his hankerings for the loving transcendental service of the Lord, and yet he will not find satiation nor end. By intense service of the Lord, one can experience the presence of the Lord transcendentally. Therefore, seeing the Lord means being engaged in his service, because his service and his person are identical. The sincere devotee should go on the sincere service of the Lord. The Lord will give proper direction as to how and where it has to be done. There was no material desire in Narada, and yet, just to increase his intense desire for the Lord, he was so advised. Okay, so Bhakti is saying, continuing his comments, I'm totally pure with no materialism. Well, it comes. It comes gradually. And like this story with Narada Muni, it can't be forced. We can immerse ourselves and do as much as we can, and try and do our chop wood, carry water kind of stuff, our daily activities around Krishna, and gradually those desires will drop off. I did want to comment here about this verse, this hankering. That's a very, very elevated idea, hankering, this hankering for Krishna. And it's right here in the Srimad Bhagavatam for all of us to read. Even though it's a very elevated position, it's something that we can aspire for, and Prabhupada gives the formula for that here in this purport, that by doing this transcendental loving service, we are in his presence because his service and his person are identical. So this whole process of bhakti yoga is sambandha, creating that relationship with Krishna and carrying it forward by doing different kinds of devotional service with the end goal of prema, of love of Krishna. Kandita says in the comments here, a devotee starts to feel, quote unquote, a higher taste, and so it becomes easy to give up lower ones. Yeah. All right, we'll continue. Text 23. All right, we're going to do that whole first line of this in one breath. It's all stuck together. Sat Sevya Dir dirgayapi. So again, here it's that GH, a G with a H. So it's K. Satsevya dirgayapi. Sorry, my voice is not good tonight. Jatamai dridhamatihi. Jatamai dridhamatihi. Hitvavadyam imam lokam. Hitvavadyam imam lokam. Ganta Majjanata Asi. Let me do that one over again. Ganta Majjanatam Asi. All right, the whole thing. Sat Sevaya Dirkayapi Jatamai Dridamatihi Hitva Vadyam Imam Lokam Ganta Majjanatam Asi.
Satseva. I gotta do it a little higher. Satsevaya diragha yapi jatamai dridhamati hitvavatyam imam lokam grantamasjanatam asi.
Excellent, thank you. Word for word. Satsevaya, by service of the Absolute Truth. Adirkaya, for some days. Api, even. Jada, having attained. Mai, unto me. Dridha, firm. Matihi, intelligence. Hitva, having given up. Avadyam, deplorable. Imam, this. Lokam, material worlds. Ganta, going to. Majjanatam, my associates. Asi, become. Translation. By service of the Absolute Truth, even for a few days, a devotee attains firm and fixed intelligence in me. Consequently, he goes on to become my associate in the transcendental world after giving up the present deplorable material worlds. Purport. Service of the Absolute Truth involves rendering service unto the Absolute Personality of Godhead under the direction of the bona fide spiritual master, who is a transparent via media between the Lord and the neophyte devotee. The neophyte devotee has no capacity to approach the Absolute Personality of Godhead by the strength of his present imperfect material senses, and therefore, under the direction of the spiritual master, he is trained in transcendental service of the Lord. And by such training, even for some days, the neophyte devotee gets intelligence in such transcendental service, which leads him ultimately to get free from perpetual inhabitation in the material worlds, and to be promoted to the transcendental world, to become one of the liberated associates of the Lord in the kingdom of God. Let's see how long this next one is. Oh yeah, let's do one more, then we'll end. Text 24. Matirmayi nibadeyam, matirmayi nibadeyam, navipadyeta karhichit, navipadyeta karhichit. Just wanted to say that last word, karhichit. There is no R with a breath, so it's not like that G we experienced before. So they are two separate letters, karhichit. Prajasarga nirodepi, Prajasarga nirodepi, Smitishcha mad anugrahat, Smitishcha mad anugrahat. Candida? Yeah, I think
Oh,
you're,
sorry.
there you go.
Yeah, sorry. Um, okay. I don't know. I don't think we all did it together. No, we didn't. That's what I was
Oh, we
reading for.
didn't?
No,
Oh,
right.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Okay, I'm sorry. Let me do that all together then. Matirmai nibadeyam na vipadye takar hichit prajasarga nirodepi smritishja mad anugrahat.
Matirmayini badheyam navipadyeta karhachit prajasarga nirodhepi smritish chamad anugrahat.
Great, thank you. Oh, there's some comments here in chat. Oh, Kandita says, Jai, wonderful purport from the one above. And Bhaktivinoda says, I agree, great purport. So yeah, so Prabhupada says, take, a couple of days, do Bhakti for a couple of days, and you're on your way. And it's like, what? That's all it takes? Like, yep, really. That's all it takes. Just take that first couple of steps, and then you're on your way. So yeah, it's a good one. All right, here's the word for word. Matihi, intelligence, mai, devoted to me, nibadha, engaged, iyam, thus, na, never, vipadyate, vipadyata, separate, karhichit, at any time, praja, living beings, sarga, at the time of creation, nirodhe, also at the time of annihilation, api, even, smritihi, remembrance, cha, and mat, mind, anugrahat, by the mercy of. Translation. Intelligence engaged in my devotion cannot be thwarted at any time, even at the time of creation, as well as at the time of annihilation. Your remembrance will continue by my mercy. Purport. Devotional service rendered to the personality of Godhead never goes in vain. Since the personality of Godhead is eternal, intelligence applied in his service or anything done in his relation is also permanent. In the Bhagavad Gita, it is said that such transcendental service rendered unto the personality of Godhead accumulates birth after birth, and when the devotee is fully matured, the total service counted together makes him eligible to enter into the association of the personality of Godhead. Such accumulation of God's service is never vanquished, but increases till fully matured. So I've heard this described sometimes as a piggy bank that your credits for doing devotional service go into this kind of piggy bank, um, and I think that's an interesting and cute image, but it's actually Candida has more to say. She says, I don't want to take another birth again. Yeah, I agree, me either. But actually, what's happening is when we're doing devotional service, our true self is revealed as we are doing devotional service. And that revelation um, is part of you. And as you go through this rebirth, if you do, through this rebirth, that is you. And so that is you and goes with you, because it is you, into that next birth. So it's never lost. It's not the piggy bank thing I worry about because, you can't take it with you. Um, but if you are changed, if you are, if you are being revealed and know more about yourself, that goes with you because that's you. That goes with you. So whatever kind of service you do, whatever anything, garlands, offering a flower, incense, reading, talking to someone, any, Shravana, Kirtan, Smaranam, all those things, remembering Krishna, any of those 9 kinds of devotional service, any of those things that you do will change you. They will change you. And that change is you, goes with you. So I just wanted to explain, yes, you it's not really you take it with you. It is you. It is you. It's like, I'm wearing these clothes I'm wearing right now. When I walk into the next room, I'm still wearing those clothes. So you have this, your spiritual body. You yourself have learned Krishna is God, and you move into this next room. Krishna is still God. You still know Krishna is God. So it's you. You've just moved from one room to another, from one room to another. So and I just want to emphasize that, because it's not, you can't lose it. How can you can't lose it? It's you. It's not a piggy bank that you could drop and cash in later. It's you. Anyway, so I just want to make that point there. Such accumulation of God's service is never vanquished, but increases until fully matured. And when it's fully matured, then you have that unalloyed devotion that Prabhupada talks about constantly. You have that. You embody that. And it's not something that, well, in these verses that we're reading, Krishna wants Narada Muni to hanker after that service. And that kind of hankering after service is a good thing. So it just keeps going. Prabhupada says in one of the purports we just read, you start doing some service and you think, oh, I could do that. Like with my deities, it's like, oh, I could do that. I could gold foil the back of their crowns because it's so ugly. And I could make a necklace this way. I mean, it just, my thing is Archana. That's what I do. And so I think about all kinds of different things, and it's infinite. It just keeps going and going. So whatever your predilection is for a devotional service, whether it's reading or painting or singing or meditating, whatever, just pursue it. All right, that's enough from me, my friends. Thank you so much for letting me read tonight. I really appreciate it. It's a service that I do really like to do. So thank you very much. All
Thank
glories to
you.
Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Haribol.
So